Yo, this Wack 100. Check me out on the Bootleg Kev Podcast, because I'm going to be talking that shit.
Bootleg Kev Podcast special guest, man. My guy Wack 100 is here.
Yo, man, who put that fucking duct tape on your mouth, Kev? I don't like that shit, bro.
You know, man.
Find the motherfucker did that, man. It's a problem.
Wack, you know, it's crazy because it's, you know, I've been wanting to get you on the podcast for a while.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
so I know that there's some shit going on the internet right now, but I want you to know that's not why you're here. We're going to talk about it.
I ain't tripping that.
But you know
what it is, yeah.
I've been wanting to have you on here for a long time. What I want to start is, give me what you're, like, I feel like there's many misconceptions about Wack.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm kind of who I want you to know, depending on who you are. You know, like with you, every time it's a phone call, it always been, hey, Kev, I got something for you. Kev, you know what I'm saying? You know, because I really see the future in you. I don't, you know, I think you on your rise. You haven't even got nowhere near to where, you know, where you're going to be coming. I've always been big on relationships.
That's
you know
facts.
what I'm saying? I've always been big on, you know, if you're in a position to do something for somebody, do it and don't keep count with it. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, you're a lot of people don't know this, but you're one of the reasons I got hired in LA, man.
Exactly.
I was in Tampa, and you put the word in.
Yeah, I called. I was in the meeting, and they was Doc Winters and everybody. They was putting together the structure of the real 92.3 before it even came, and I was like, yo, you know what I mean? You know, our boy Bootleg, we fuck with him. Everybody fuck with him. He fit. You know what I mean? And shit, you know, Doc, I put you online with him, and
yeah, you know what's crazy? Yeah, they could at the time they couldn't hire me because I was under contract, but it ended up working out.
Yeah, he was under contract at the time, but you know that seed was planted.
I appreciate that.
Everything you did was already doing.
Do you remember when I was in Tampa? You threatened to kill me?
No, about what? What happened?
I gotta refresh your memory on this.
I don't even remember coming through Tampa.
No. It was over the phone. So let me. This whenever people tell me crazy Wack stories, I'm like, I got one, and then this was after.
It was behind a game or something?
So let me tell you what happened. I was out with Dante from E1 one night.
Oh, yeah, Dante be fucking around. Okay,
so what happened was, Dante's telling me about this Meek Mill record with Game, right? And he's like, yo, this shit's about to be crazy, whatever, coming out through E1. I'm like, cool. Maybe 2 hours later, we're still out. I think we're out at the club or something. Some Twitter page tweets me, at Bootleg Kev, leaked brand new Game Meek Mill record with a link. I show it to Dante. I say, yo, there's this page is tweeting every DJ in the country, right? Yeah. I'm like, is this it? And he's like, yeah, screenshot that so I can send it to Wack. So he screenshotted it and sent it to you. And if you read it out loud, it said, at Bootleg Kev leaked brand new Game Meek Mill song.
Oh, shit.
So the next day I get a call from you saying that I leaked your shit. And I'm like, bro, Wack, I was with Dante last night. And that was the one time I got a bad...
Shit rolled downhill. I must have got a call from Game.
I don't know, but I was like, Wack, that page is tweeting everybody. Like,
I don't know that. Everybody got to understand, like, I probably understand like 30% of social media.
Yeah, that was the one.
You know what I'm saying?
That was my one time where I saw that side of you.
I'm still learning shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I'm still learning how to hit a hat. How to research hat. I got to ask my kids, you know, what's this?
Well, and then what Dante did, like, because I was like, Dante, you got to fix this, bro. Like, I was Dante's in Tampa at the time.
Did the motherfucking song leak?
Yeah, it was leaked, but I didn't leak it. It was some.
You know what I started finding out? A lot of the labels was doing back then is they were servicing the shit overseas. And the overseas platform was always 24 hours. They had our platform. So what happened is, once bloggers know that, they're reaching over there, grabbing it, and then it's over here. Because a lot of people don't know iTunes platform overseas is total different than ours over here.
It's a whole nother game.
It's a whole nother game. But you know what? You know what's crazy? I bet the next time I talk to you, it was like
it never happened.
Because you know why? I'm glad you said that. Yeah. Because the shit wasn't personal, it was business.
That's fair.
Like it wasn't a thing at Bootleg Kev. It was like, this is the situation, this who did it, address them. So probably when I called you the next time, it was probably some.
No, it was like nothing ever happened.
Because it wasn't, in my mind, it wasn't problem with Bootleg Kev. It was problem right here behind door number one.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what that was. Cause it's always been love with you. You always
No,
been
for sure. No.
respectful and cool, and you really a part of our culture.
I appreciate that,
everybody in a part of our culture, all the DJs in a part of our culture, people that you're gonna see all the time, and not just see because you got a hit record. You're gonna see Kev on. I went to pulled up on Jim Jones, Kev on the set. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see Kev out. You're going to see him. So,
well, I just ran into a Big U screening at Mel's.
I didn't see you twice in the last couple of weeks.
That's facts.
Fucking Melrose. Big U screening.
Yep.
Jim Jones and French Song, you know what I mean? But, you going to pull up. That's why you and DJ Head made such a great duo, because he the same way. You're going to see him. He's going to pull up.
Yeah, for sure.
I hit you like, Kev, we got some new shit. Pull up. We pulling up to the studio. Kev done been in there with 30 wolves.
Yeah.
He don't get, you know what I'm saying? He gonna pull up by himself, come in, and that's where the fuck are you from anyway?
Phoenix, man.
That's why I always get Phoenix.
I've been moving around though. The radio life.
At the station down there. What's the homie name? Always
Power 98.3.
The homie that used to fly back to New Mexico to go home.
Mikey Fuentes.
Yeah, there you go, Mikey.
Yeah.
Mikey still down there?
Nah, he's in Boise.
He got Boise?
Yeah.
Got you. Yeah, that's family, man. Shout out to Mikey Fuentes. But
yeah. Phoenix,
shit,
Arizona.
What's up, man? Let's get to the juicy shit.
Well, listen, let's just get out. Let's get that out the way. All right, man. Listen, right now, people, you viral right now.
Wow,
when is this song coming out?
And they mixing that shit down right now. I got my producer, you know what I'm saying, Swiss cheese.
Yeah, so let's talk about this, man. What I it's entertaining to me that at times you will speak on shit that don't got nothing to do with you, but it stirs up a lot of shit.
You know what? I really wasn't gonna say nothing at first, right?
Talking about the Meek Mill situation.
Yeah, but see what I don't like, I'm gonna call a spade, right? Whether it's in favor of me or not, right? And it's like, what I've been noticing about this industry is that people tend to, because of who you are, they sweep shit under the rug. But if somebody else committed the same act, they're crucified. And I believe, everybody got to be held accountable for what they do. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, I got mixed feelings about this little kid. You know what I mean? Because, he did what he did, but on the
6ix9ine.
Yeah, on the same note, he shouldn't have never been in position to do what he did. You know what I mean? This thing we got in the streets, right? It ain't for everybody, and it's just not a free fall. It ain't like fucking Magic Mountain. You show up, buy a ticket, and get in. There's certain things you got to go through, certain things that has to be proven before somebody is allowed to come in. And the fact that they allowed him to come in is what, him being inside of it is what gave him information.
They chose to bring him into that.
Once you brought him in and you allowed him to see certain things, you're discussing certain things, you know what I mean? He shouldn't have never had the information that he had when he got put up under that light. You know what I mean? Everything ain't for everybody. And I really think he was in character the whole time. He was using the block boy street cred. Everything about the kid defied what he say he was. The gay community has adopted the rainbow as pretty
their
much
flag. Yeah,
their flag. Right? The kid got rainbow hair. I mean, we do the math on everything about the kid. It totally defines, what they allowed him to do. You know what I mean? So I already know what they did. They do what they always do. They press play on the kid. They let the kid hear things that was going on and, behind his back. And because he don't fall up under that script, he don't fall up under that real code, no matter, somebody can press play and show me a dude running a train on my wife and the dude that killed my brother and this, the code say whatever it is going on, I got to deal with that how I got to deal with that. I don't deal with that through the law. I got to keep my mouth shut. When I get,
you got to handle it the way you handle it.
Exactly. But again, that's me. And I think that they put this kid in a situation that he shouldn't have been in. And what he did was he just went back to who he really was. He took the costume off. So I got mixed emotions of what we call this kid a snitch, because I believe civilians don't snitch, they tell the truth.
So we're looking, I mean,
They don't snitch, they tell the truth. They put this dude in this situation that he shouldn't have been in, right? So he did what he did, and I believe even right down today, he uses what he does as a marketing tool because he has no obligation to the politics of the streets. He has none. He don't care how it goes. He's just, a little kid playing and doodling, and it's allowed. They're allowing it to happen. You know what I mean? I think he got a death wish. I think he want to go out a martyr one day. For real,
it's funny because that's what I like. Me and Head always have these discussions about like that word snitching, right? And it applies. And
Head could never be a snitch
because we are not in that world.
My son is not a gang member.
Right.
He's a civilian. He's taught to tell the truth.
Civilians and people who live by that code are separate.
It's total different things. You can't, like, even with this music game, right? And I got to tell people, right? When they say, yo, Wack, man, on some real G shit, man, these motherfucking DJs, these motherfuckers in these bills, they ain't keeping it real. Look at this baggy shit they doing, all this shit. I'm like, yo, bro, check this out. Can they bring the things they do in the building to the projects? Hell no, I said, because it's rules and regulations that we create in the projects, right? Okay, great. Once upon a time, guys like you and guys like me, we wasn't allowed in the building. So if you think that you're going to go in the building and force those people that been conducting business the way they've been conducting business for 50, 60, 70 years to adapt to our way of conducting business, you sadly mistaken. It ain't going to work like that. You got to find equal medium. The industry is a bullshit. It's a bullshit party. People will see you, hey, yeah, let's make it happen. Yeah, let's put it together.
That happens all the time.
Walk off.
How many times a week does that happen to you?
Walk off and they be like, man, I don't fuck with that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? That's just what it is, right?
That has to happen to you 5-6 times a week.
Yeah, but I put it like this, out of every 20 people that do that, right? If I get 1 or 2 that live up to what they say, that's great. I take those 1 and 2, I plug them in to all the other 1 and 2s, and then I create my team like that. It takes time to create a team in this industry.
Of course.
That's real shit.
So you said earlier you like to call a spade a spade. So why did you feel the need to call out Meek in the way you did?
Because, like, for instance, right, I look at 6ix9ine and I like, okay, you violated, did this, did that, right? That's it. Right. I'm not pressing who's promoting 6ix9ine. I'm not pressing academics. It's all, popping up on Clubhouse and shit like, because of motherfuckers like you, supporting this, you need to be and all this.
Oh, they definitely pressed them.
I'm not doing all that, right? Okay, you asked me, yeah, dude violated. Some of them people are my comrades that's in jail. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Nuke. That, some of them dudes is I know personally, but it's never came out of my mouth that it's on. When we catch your motherfucking ass, what it's gonna be, right? I hate to say it, 6ix9ine made history again because the prey pulled up on the predator, and that's unheard of. See, usually the predator controls the narrative because he can talk that shit, and deep down inside, he know he ain't gonna do nothing, right? So what he does is, if he know his prey is over there, he just don't go over there. He stays away from them, so it's never a situation. In this situation, the prey pulled up on the predator. And how that's supposed to work, once you didn't set the stage and say it's on, you're going to address a motherfucker when they see you. When they pull up on you, right? Hey, bro, it was 6 skinheads that pulled up on me and called me.
And you fucking laid them out.
I could have said, oh, it's 6 of them, and I stayed in the car and got on. And you know what a lot of people would have said? Oh, what do y'all expect? It's 6 of them. But see, the rules and code of the streets where I come from, whether it's in favor or not in favor, you got to handle your business. Win, lose, or draw. It's been a situation where it's more of us than them. It's been a situation where it's even Steven. It's been a situation where it's me by myself. I have to remain who I'm supposed to be.
At all times.
So on the flip side, when that man pulled up with his squad, and let's for the note, little dude ain't on house arrest no more. There's no police with that dude. I know a few of them dudes. They're not police, right? And you in Florida. The stand your ground rule is in full effect. We all know about that, right? So at the end of the day, the whole situation, people saying, oh, me gonna go to jail. Hey, look, check this out. If you are worried about it concerning yourself with jail or or in the backlash of it, then don't speak on it. Don't involve yourself to that capacity to where you pressing this dude and pressing people around this dude. Say the dude's a rat, I don't agree with the fuck he did, and keep it moving. But you set the stage to where it's on. Mm-hmm. When Meek and Game was going at it, right? Mm-hmm. When we bump, it's on. They said, yo, y'all can't do that show in Philly. We be there at 7 o'clock. 2 bus loads deep, 5 rental cars deep. Well, it's going to be whatever it's going to be. And we went and had a cheesesteak afterwards. We see you, it's on. Ain't no talking, ain't none of that. This is the irrational rules we live by, right? So you can't, okay, today ain't a good day because I might get caught. Nah, motherfucker, this is what this is. You chose
if you're saying
this.
If you sign up for this.
Yeah, you got to take what come with that. Okay, now look, it's here. His squad pull up. It ain't no talking. Get off. That's it. That's how that go. If you got a squad with you that ain't gonna move with you, then maybe you need to,
some other people
change that up because they had no problem
doing that to Safari.
Getting off on Safari. They chased that man down like a dog, and he ain't did no Instagram shit. He ain't said shit. He ain't called you no pussy. He ain't called you nothing. Shit. You took his woman. Why you mad at him? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So you had no problem. You can't be, I call it selective politicking. You want to pick and choose when you want to do this and do this and do that. Nah.
So let me ask you this. Devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Let's say Meek's evolved as a professional, as a human, as a man.
Action's supposed to represent that. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to represent that. Okay, for instance, what's my man? My Son.
Yeah.
My Son speaks strongly against 6ix9ine. He's a fucking rat. Boy, My Son going to a club, he don't want to hear the music, all that. But you never heard My Son say, when I catch this little motherfucker, this what this is.
Because My Son is a community leader now. Like, you know
what I'm saying? But he a real street motherfucker.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
But
he used to be signed again.
So if My Son was to walk in the same building room 6ix9ine in, I'm not expecting My Son to do shit.
You're saying
unless that man becomes a threat
because
to that
Meek
man.
put that out there already.
You put that out there, you say this what it is.
Yeah, I got you.
Like he put it out there, yeah, Wack, I want you to pull up on me. Okay, cool. Hold them words. Because see, I'm not 6ix9ine. I'm gonna force you to get down. You're gonna have to get down.
If that's what it is.
You, your squad, your team, whatever it is. Because Meek, you said that. Now you said that. All I did was address your actions with this kid. Right? You chose to get away from that and said, well, and I've seen you, Meek, like 2-3 times. I've seen you, you called me to squash the Game beef. I'll let you and Game do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Game was a gentleman about it. Meek said, look, I'm going a different way in my life. I just got out. I don't want to be beefing with nobody. Game simply said, I ain't no bully, homie. If that's your energy, it's cool. Keep my name out your mouth. Keep it respectful and we good. And he kept it moving. I've seen you 2-3 times BET weekend. You shook my hand. You making comments about Nipsey, my nigga. That's kind of, you a Philly dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you talking about, the Nipsey shit, right? But I've seen you since the Nipsey shit. Right? Face to face. All you had to do, and anybody know, all you got to do is show me any signs of aggression, say what you're going to say, right? And we're going to get to it. I got attorneys and bail bondsmen, and my wife that been with me 30 years, she know what to do. I'm going to go in there, go to sleep, do a couple push-ups, come home, but then that's what that is, right? But, don't put that out there that that's what it is, and then when it comes at you, you go to talking about, oh, you trying to send me to jail. Well, you know what? That's what happens when you agitate violence and disrespecting anybody. Rat, no rat, gay, not gay, punk, no punk. If you disrespect somebody, in the back of your head, you got to expect something might happen. Even if they don't commit the act, the bags make things happen. And this is just real shit. So if you are an advocate of nonviolence, then you shouldn't even
speak that into the world.
You shouldn't even be addressing it.
Right.
Don't even say nothing about it.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, it's a bunch of New York dudes that's in jail. That ain't Philly business.
That's facts.
And that's all that was. He turned it into a personal thing. I just call a spade a spade.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, Meek, obviously, I think,
He He wants to control the narrative, and he wants the rules to be his rules. But Meek, you been in the game like you like 33 years, 34 years old, bro. You ain't nobody to dictate and control the rules that been there before you.
Well, I was gonna say, I think some people might say, well, like, Wack, why even call Meek out in that way? If you could just hit him.
What I started to see? People started to say, oh, because of who Meek is, he didn't have, no. Let me remind everybody. Press play on this song. He didn't kill 300 niggas in first 10 verses. Right. You talking, that's what it is. You at this kid. You attacking people around this kid. And if that's what you want to do, I respect it. But that kid came out. You supposed to handle your business. I would hope that from this point on, Meek, because of, what he's saying, he's an advocate of peace and nonviolence, don't address shit that brings violence. Let somebody else do that. Let the streets do that.
If you think of someone like Jay-Z, right? And
you never hear Jay-Z.
Jay pivoted away. I mean, if you listen to Jay's early shit, once Jay became that guy, his music and
even when him and Nas went at it, it was in the music. You never heard Jay-Z do interviews saying, when I catch Nas, it's on.
Right.
You left it with music, that was music. That's what that was. The minute you come away from music and go to talking about what it's gonna be, right? Then you got to stand up on that.
Which is what Meek did with 6ix9ine.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I don't want to see nothing. Look, I had nothing personal against Meek. Nothing. I didn't talk to dude on the phone. He done did music with Chuck since then.
Yeah.
In my studio.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Real shit.
Mm-hmm.
He done been right there with us. But, I'm a spade guy, and all my comrades know that. When you do something that's out of character and out of pocket, I'm going to call you, and I'm not going to, my son can't do some shit, and I here to tell you, son, that's some punk shit you just did. What you doing? That's my son. I'm not going to say, well, that's my son. How people are, they have opinion about everybody else, but as soon as it's they people, they want to kind of like sweep under the rug. That ain't how I move. I'm going to call a spade, bro. You know what I'm saying? You doing some fuck shit, you doing some fuck shit. You doing some real shit, you doing some real shit. And that's just what it is. Nothing personal, bro. It's just, that's the politics of the situation. Hey, bro, you was talking that shit. Dude pulled up on you. You should have went.
Well, I think that the other thing, too, is...
Kev, you know my squad.
I know.
Let a motherfucker pull up on us. We're going. We didn't have the Samoans. We didn't have all kind of shit pull up on us. It's going to be a melee.
Your track record is on video for years.
That's just me, bro.
Hey, Stitches pulled up, Stitches got laid down.
And there was 19 police there.
Right.
In Miami. I got tased twice.
You got tased.
Hit me the first time I got up. They had to hit me again.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. I mean, death row days, bro. Squads pull up. I swear to God, shout out to Big Faye from Long Beach Insanity. It just come on from doing 10, 15 years, right? We go to the Santa Monica Museum after party. Mm-hmm. They in there. We rolled in. We locked up like wild bulls. It was 50, 60 of us. It was police, all kind of shit. Security pulling guns. Y'all do what y'all do. But we know it's on site. You know what I'm saying? I watched Fade put in major work. And he was on the other side of it. I'm watching Fade knock motherfuckers out. That's with me. I'm seeing it. So I respect the man's gangster, whether he with me or not. Mm-hmm. I'm going to call a spade a spade. But that's what that is. Nowadays, we pull up, they see us, we see them, it's all love, it's no problems. But when you been established, it's a problem in its own like that. When it come at you, you got to deal with it. And unfortunately, certain things come with that. Sometimes it's death, sometimes it's jail, sometimes you injured. You might win, you might lose. If not, don't fuck with it. Leave it alone.
Do you think that, because you're obviously a CEO, you're an executive, you're one of the most successful independent motherfucker in this rap game.
And I got a GED. Straight up.
I was going to say, do you think at what point in time do you think some of this shit is just beneath you, Wack?
Well, you got to understand.
By the way, it's entertaining because I do enjoy at times, your IG be very entertaining.
You got to understand, as long as I'm in this music industry, right, and even the execs will tell you, right, the execs is in the building. You don't see the UMG execs and the Sony execs coming out here to the streets to scout nobody, right? They leave it up to people like me to go scout them and then bring them back to the building, right? So it's just like, preparing for a trip. When you're going into the jungle, right, when can you change? I gotta respect the laws and the rules of the jungle, and not the bear over there, the snake over there, the lions over there. So for Wack to say, after all these years, I've been a part of this thing. Well, you know what? It's beneath me.
I just mean the social media aspect of it.
Well, social media is like a coloring book to me. I don't care about it.
Right.
You go pull up all the new artists I signed, they got a blue check. Nobody got a blue check because Wack got them a blue check. Wack don't got a blue check.
Right.
I don't care about it. Like, it's a coloring book.
Yeah.
They can shut that shit down. I was who I was before fucking social media. If we had had social media back, can you imagine we had social media back when like Game and 50 was beefing or the Death Row time?
I think about it all the time.
Shit was crazy. So a lot of these kids don't understand, look, we were doing some other shit way before this shit. So it's like, but dude needed to be addressed. And I really think, on some real shit, I really think I helped him become a better person. Because I think in the near future, when things come up, if it doesn't directly involve me,
he won't speak on it.
I think he's gonna leave that alone.
Which again?
So, I might have, if you look at it another way, I might have did him a favor because he might have put his nose in some other shit that led to some other shit.
Right. That's fair. Talk about, you obviously, for people who don't know, you originally, when you got out of jail, the first artist that you worked with
was the first artist I worked directly with my project.
That was
Ray J.
Was Ray J. That was that around the Sexy Can I era?
That was my project.
So that was like peak Ray J.
Yeah, that's me, Shaquille O'Neal, and at that time, Suge Knight said, "Wack, you need to go rebuild what I tore down, get the New York plugs right," and that's when I met K Slay All-Star Weekend in Vegas, and me and K Slay started politicking, and we created this movement called Bridging the Gap. Go to YouTube and pull it up. You'll see I would bring Slay out here, take him to all the neighborhoods, Crips and Bloods, both sides, and he would work with artists, and then I would send artists out there with them, and he would do their mixtapes, put them on the show, G Malone, J Rock, K Dot,
just kind of building a bridge from
Nipsey,
coast to coast.
Nipsey, all that. All them dudes first time on New York radio was Wack situation with K Slay.
The Drama King.
Right? And he would take them out there, we'd do the thing with them, and then Slay send artists out here who wanted to do videos. So we was crossing over in each other's culture, making it safe again. So it was cool because at one time it was on. You know what I mean? We get caught out there slipping, they was at us, and it was the same thing out
So what
here.
was that, like 06, 07?
I was like, I met Slay about 05, and then we did this Ray J project 06, 07.
Yeah.
K Slay actually A&R'd that whole project.
Shout out
we
to
leaked Sexy Kinda behind the label's back.
Listen, K Slay is I used to make a lot of Bootleg Kev. That's how I got my name. Was slanging mixtapes at the swap meet when I was 17,
that's my
man.
big brother, mentor, teacher. We argue, we fuss, fight, we do everything. Shit, I live across the street from him.
And
I said in Jersey. I got a spot out there.
And respect to his just relationships with the porn bitches, because I would always see all the magazine, Straight Stunt magazine, all the porn bitches on the covers.
Still, no, that's Slay.
Always on the Shade 45 show.
That's Slay. That's Slay. That's definitely.
So.
But I gotta, I do this music thing because I feel like it's a need for me here because a lot of these kids is like, nobody's gonna run the field with them.
Well, I feel like you obviously went from Ray J, and then, working with Game. I feel like in the last 4 or 5 years, though, you really hit your stride as an executive, finding new talent.
Yeah.
Because that's, Ray J was already someone we knew. When you came along. Now, obviously, he hit the peak of his career with you. Game, already established name, but you've shown people that.
They tried the shelf game.
Was this the Geffen era?
No, they tried the shelf game. This right after, you figure probably about the Jesus Piece era, he owed him another album. They tried to put him on the shelf.
Oh, wow.
And that's when we went to Miami, and Cool and Dre, shout out to Cool and Dre. They opened up their studio for us for like 2 months. He went in and started recording. I was in and out. I was jumping on planes and getting releases here and doing this here and doing that there and finding another situation here. That's where you seen Year of the Wolf came in, and right after Year of the Wolf, I dropped Documentary 2 and 2.5 to Double C.
I remember.
Year of the Wolf was an obligation through a negotiation that I had to do to get him
Wasn't
released.
that more like a compilation, or was supposed to be, right?
I had to do that to release him. He put all everything into the Doc 2 and 2.5. So Game was like he was in one of those contracts for damn near 10 years. And they tried to shelf him, and I just kind of used my resources and who I was and what Suge taught me to do to get him out of that.
Without, like, when you say what Suge taught you to do, we think of some of those Suge Knight antics that might have.
Well, I don't think it was antics. I think Suge gets the short end of the stick because the persona. But if you was to ask Jodeci, if you was to ask, Mary J, or if you was to ask the kid that did the Ice Ice Baby beat about Suge's business, they'd tell you all he did was make the wrong right. You know what I mean? Suge turned 30 cents, meaning the album selling for $10 and the artist getting 30 cents off the sale,
which is crazy,
to 30%.
Right.
He turned 30 cents, which was the old Motown shit and all the old day shit, right, to 30%. So now you're 30 cents, and it don't be a group like the Alcoholics.
Shout
3 dudes, 10 cents a piece. Now he turned that to $3.
Right.
Right? So, and I've always seen Suge try to deal with things the right way, out the box. But unfortunately, even in America, it's been proven. Our world we come from, it needs violence. That's what people respect.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I hate to say it. You know what I mean? Like if you walking down the street, you see a yard that says beware a dog, and then another yard with the gate open, and you done made a decision you going in somebody's backyard. The mere thought of that dog back there says you're gonna go in the yard with the gate open.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's just the world we come from. It's a reason why, China won't launch on us and we won't launch on them. We owe them people a lot of money. You know that?
Trillions and trillions of dollars.
It's the threat of the violence that could happen. So, sometimes when you've exhausted everything else, you got to go another way with it. And he only went there if you forced him to go there. Other than that, he was very protective of his family. And he was very protective of his employees as well as his artists. You know what I mean?
Talking about Game, I feel like somehow in history, Game has ended up underrated. Because when we think of Game and his consistency with just putting out bodies of work that are like front to back, I feel like
part of it his fault, part of it's not. Because Game, believe it or not, he was in it for the passion of rap. The passion of being an advocate, a voice for the streets. He wasn't in it for the superstardom.
Right.
I bring Game a deal, and he told me, Wack, you had it your way, I'd be on every billboard, every goddamn bus, every motion picture. Man, listen, that's not what I want. I want to be able to go places. Even though, he's crazy as hell, he still gets up and moves around like he's normal. But, like, bro, he stood up Steven Spielberg twice.
Wow.
Real shit. Like Game never wanted the superstardom. He'll tell you that. Like he never wanted that. Like, so if he would have wanted that,
he could have.
It's a lot of things that he turned down. 18 movie, that was his role. He's like,
oh wow.
It was all kind of shit that Game the shoe deal. He walked away from that. They didn't walk away from him.
Wow.
You know what I mean? They like, man, you got to wear this shit every time on stage. You're like, yo, bro, I'm going to wear what the Game want to wear. If I feel like wearing this, I wear it. Other than that, I'm also Chuck Taylor. I'm going to put these All-Stars on my feet, right? So it was like Game never, wanted that stardom, that superstardom. Like he didn't shut me down millions of times. Like shit that we do this, that leads to this, that leads to that, that leads to this. He like, that ain't what I want. Let's stick to the music. Let me go and make another dope album. Well, let me do this to contribute to that. Nah, let me make another dope album. Let me stay focused on, being a messenger to the people from the streets. So that's what that was.
What's the there's been all this discussion over the years. I remember you would put 50 and Game together.
Definitely.
And that was
shout out to Monster.
I remember seeing that picture and it was like, yo, this is crazy. Like I just be thinking like how different the history of our
three times I got them together. But my team out there, BPE team, $8. Relatives was at the time was 50's head of security, brother named Monster, real solid dude. And through our relationship, I was able to have conversation with 50 in our backyard. And it was crazy because I went to 50. We was in with the AODs over there on Monday night.
Yep.
And
Ace of Diamonds.
We in there, 50 in there. And Gang said, y'all need to holler at 50. And, once he tell me want to do something, he's spoiled. I got to make it happen. So I go over there, come in, Monster cleared up, holler at 50. He trust me. Fear Game want to holler at you like, Wack, this ain't the right environment. You deep, we deep. It's going to turn into something. I said, nah, I'm going to bring Game over here to you. So you going to bring him over here just y'all? I said, yeah, just us two. I said, I'm going to stand behind you and Monster going to stand behind Game. And y'all do some funny shit, you at a disadvantage. Monster, you with it? He said, I'm definitely with it. And that's when you saw them. I think Charisma, shout out to Charisma, was DJing that night. And they talked and, whatever they was talking about and shook hands and laughed and giggled a little bit. And then, it was cool.
Yeah, I just think like that's one of the like vivid memories in hip hop history, like high school when the documentary came. Like the first time I heard How We Do was like, it's one of my favorite songs ever. And I just like how different would hip hop have been had that conflict never happened?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely crazy movement. Game had his reasons and 50 had his reasons. And some of it might have been business, some of it might have been
maybe some ego,
reasons of selfishness and through reasons of ego.
Yeah.
I really think that it was a situation where it was teacher and student. And I think out of the whole G Unit crew, and shout out to Tony Yayo, that's a real comrade of mine. I think Game was a teacher in the making. You know what I mean? And if somebody is going to come out of that shell, you can't keep them there too long. And then 50, being the general-minded guy he is, he run his shit with an iron fist. So I think it was a clash going on. And before 50 kind of realized it, Game kind of seen that this is going to restrict me.
Right.
I got to get away from this. And that's how that went. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, it both gave hip-hop the substance we needed.
Hey, 300 bars and running.
50 allowed that collaboration to happen. And then through it all, you know what I mean, they was able as men, to kind of like come back together and show that mutual respect for one another.
Do you think like the Jimmy Henchman like element of that dynamic was like maybe added to that divide a bit?
Well, Jimmy Henchman was needed at the time. You know what I mean? You got 50 big as anything you can be in New York.
I always say the two biggest rappers of all time is Peak 50 and Peak Snoop.
That Jimmy Henchman element was what gave Game his edge, because Pa Rule was going to stand behind him out here on the West Coast. And then he had part of his head security, Bounty Hunters, 2 Chiefs from Bounty Hunters, and G Magic from 88 Avalon. So it was a mixture of everything we represented out here standing with him anyway, right? So that Jimmy Henchman element kind of gave Game the edge, like that extended clip, because Jimmy Henchman was who he was in New York.
Right.
So now you look up and Jimmy Henchman's politics got Game in a big-ass billboard in the middle of Southside Queens.
Right.
When Game lands in New York, because he got to come to New York, Jimmy Henchman's squad is there to move him around to protect him. So, Jimmy did what he was supposed to do. And he did the shit well. He did it great, and he stood with Game as Game stood with him. So I don't take nothing from Jimmy. Jimmy was a solid dude. He got a situation himself over there with some paperwork going on, and he gonna deal with that as he got to deal with that. Mm-hmm. But what he did for Game, Jimmy was.
He did right by him.
He did right by him.
Yo, what up? Taking a break into the Bootleg Kev Podcast here to tell you about our sponsor, Odd Socks, man. Make sure you go tap in with oddsocksofficial.com. Look, I got fucking Odd Socks on right now. You know what I'm saying? Got the Macho Man Randy Savages, Look, they got the most comfortable socks I ever put on my feet. Not only that, but they got the crazy licenses. They got the WWE. How about these Scarface joints? These joints are crazy, man. So Scarface, Breaking Bad, and their Odd Socks Basics line. These joints are so comfortable. So go to oddsocksofficial.com. Use the keyword Bootleg Kev. Save 20% at checkout. Plus, they just dropped underwear on them. Plus, they just dropped them slippers. And they got the masks. oddsocksofficial.com, keyword Bootleg Kev at checkout. Save 20% off. Fuck with Odd Socks. It's funny because there was this big uproar about people being mad that Game said that he thinks he's the greatest rapper to ever come out of Compton. I'm like, he's supposed to say that, well, because he was on Clubhouse and what he said about like, yo, I'm the hardest to ever come out of Compton.
I'm gonna tell you, listen, I'm gonna kind of give you some insight on that, right? Because first thing people gonna think is Kendrick Lamar.
Well, I personally think Kendrick. As from a I think Game's right there.
No, I'm gonna tell y'all.
But Game should say that, right?
I'm gonna tell you why he says that. Before it was a Kendrick Lamar, it was a K-Dot, right?
True.
The kid K-Dot now we go back to the Game 50 situation. Was a student of Game's.
No, I don't.
Game took him on tour.
LAX tour.
Anybody knew who he was and all this, right?
The LAX tour was Nipsey, J-Rock, and
fucked up. K-Dot, as humble as he is, he probably would never answer the question because I really think K-Dot is in a lane of his own, a mountain of his own. You talking two different type of rappers,
Facts.
right? K-Dot is a legend in my book. Is coming out the West Coast, and he's still got a whole lot of life in him.
For sure.
Shout out to TDE, Top Dog, and the whole family over there. But Game is always, he's like you won't catch, you can't get Top Dog to say, I'm a bigger record exec than Suge Knight. And he's moved some numbers, right? Because Suge Knight was a teacher to us all. He's somebody we watched, that we talked to, that we consulted, right? As big as Top Dog is, he won't say that, right? And he got some real stats that he can stand on, right? So when it comes to Game, when he sees Kendrick, no matter how big he get, it's kind of like my son. My son taller than me, getting bigger than me. That's still my son. I'm going to respect him because he's my son. He's a product of me, not to say Game built Kendrick, but he was a vital tool in the growth of Kendrick.
Well, I mean, I remember that. Well,
so
that moment when on stage when Kendrick officially got passed the torch, when Kendrick cried.
Game didn't have to do that.
That was a big moment.
And listen, Snoop there, Snoop already, he's an icon.
Of course.
You know, he can rap, don't rap, he's an icon, right? Cube, everybody there. At the time, Game was still grinding.
Yeah.
But Game did that because this is one of his mans, you know what I'm saying? He ain't hating. I want to see you grow.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he's never going to put himself behind Kendrick, and I don't think Kendrick will ever put himself ahead of Game. I think it's really a mutual respect when it comes to the teacher-student thing, to, you know, the big homie, little homie type situation. As if I don't think Kendrick will ever talk down on J-Rock.
Of course not, yeah.
Because he was once J-Rock's hype man. Now, if we look at numbers, we'll say, oh, shit, Kendrick's and J-Rock, right? But without that J-Rock element.
Well, J-Rock is the first guy to kick the whole shit off.
Yeah, without that J-Rock element, right, there wouldn't have been that initial seeding and nurturing of Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? So it's certain things that people just not going to say.
Wack, I want, you know,
the history behind it.
I look up to you in a lot of different ways, but I know when it comes to finances, investing, certain types of financial literacy things that you're very good with.
Great with. Yeah.
You know, you had explained to me something kind of like a life hack, how to use your credit and credit cards to help.
Oh yeah, I was giving you the American Express situation.
You was giving me some game. I thought that was it. Could you share that with everybody? Because I feel like it's
a lot of people, right?
Something super practical people could do.
I tell a lot of people, the creditors is kind of like, they want to put you in a situation that you can't get out of, right? So you got to know how to manipulate them, right? And first and foremost, let me say shout out to my financial advisor who has enhanced my intelligence, Travis Wilson, Trav for the Stars on Instagram. That's my financial guy. He's great with numbers. He's enhanced everything that I've known times a million, right? But like if you got credit cards, right? You got a card here and it's, you know, $5,000, right? And you got $5,000 of bills, right? I'm gonna tell you, pay your bills with your credit card, right? And then the money that you was gonna use from your bank account, pay your credit card back. So what the creditor is gonna say is, oh shit, okay, increasing to 10, right? Pay the same 5 and keep doing it. You'll look up, I got credit cards in my pocket right now. I can literally go buy a Rolls Royce right now, no problem. Just swipe. Because everything I do, instead of using my primary bank account, right, I use the credit card and I put the money back on the bank account. And you build credit. And to all my cats that's in the streets, I'm going to keep it real with you. This is the way I think. In my pocket, I probably got about 4 or 5 million of credit cards, right? That if I want to today, I can go pull that cash down, right? So I think business and I think street. Shit get weird and get funny. I can liquidate and get on. Whatever you gonna put on my credit is cool, because if it's that bad when they catch me, it ain't gonna matter anyway.
Right, if it's that bad.
You know what I'm saying? And I can't use the credit card because that's a paper trail. But I can work off this cash. So, you know, all my street guys, y'all take and keep that in effect, right? But And then keep your credit at like a 25%.
Utilization.
Yeah, if you got $1,000 limit, don't never pay it off. Pay it down to $250. You know what I mean? Because that would help your credit score. And then real estate, man. Real estate is always great. Always invest in real estate. Don't be scared to buy real estate because the down payment is like a savings account. It's still there.
That's what I try to tell people. Like people who don't understand, like they'll be like, man, like I always tell people to look at real estate, not even one that you live in, but just look at it as your bank. Instead of keeping the bank in, your checking account, it's in that crib. You can pull that out at any time. The best part about it is you get positive cash flow.
I got homes, bro, that I remember I didn't paid $110,000. I go check, they worth $600,000-$700,000.
How many houses do you own? I mean, or if you don't.
Right now, I'm down to like 13. I used to be like 23. I liquidated when the 08 shit hit.
Of course.
Got off a few of them. But, real estate is good. Land is good, too, as well.
Of course,
Sometimes you can go to the city hall and then look at the 10-year projection, and they'll tell you, well, we're looking to do a Walmart here, a shopping center here, and it's like empty land. Go buy the land and get in the way.
Have you, how?
Yeah, they, either
get in the way,
you build around it or they got to buy you out.
Or they got to buy you out. That's some real shit.
You know what I'm saying?
How much, when it comes to just being a source of knowledge for guys like Blueface, I know, because I remember the first time I met Blueface, I think you and your wife were taking him to look at houses like the day before.
I made sure Blueface was a homeowner the first 60 days he was signed to me. He had a 430 FICO score. Got his credit up, me and Travis, about a 720, 730. He bought his first home in his name only, no co-signers. He paid, $1.5 million or so for it. You know what I mean? And then 7-8 months later, tax issues, so I went and put into another home, bought him another home. You know what I mean? Paid like $1.2 million for that. So, I'm gonna make sure my artists are all homeowners. I brought him his first car, Porsche. Me and Birdman did that. You know what I mean? So he didn't have to go in his pocket. The first watches and rings. I do those things for my artists because I want to see him win.
Is there ever an instance, because there's sometimes with rappers, there's tax issues or there's legal shit where you've stepped in and been like, yo, it's in my name, so you're safe. Because, I feel like there's...
Well, I always protect my artists. Nothing's ever in their name anyway. You know what I mean? I don't even pay them in their name. First thing I do when I sign them is I buy them a court, put it in their name, I set up a corporation.
Like, yo, this is all in the LLC.
Yeah, straight
so
up.
They can't touch
theirs.
it.
It's theirs, but I've never paid any of my artists direct. I've always paid a corporation. I set that up for them. So I'm always teaching my artists, how to protect themselves, and I'm setting them up.
Yeah, I think this is the game people need. Cause
medical, like when I signed Blueface, medical insurance, life insurance, all these things is things that I went out and made sure that he had, life insurance and his car insurances, and make sure he was protected. That's just what I do, because it's kind of like a father thing with me too as well. I want to see everything and anything around me win. I'm gonna get old one day. I'm gonna need somebody to push that wheelchair block or two every now and then. You know what I mean? And I want people to remember. I'm gonna overdo before I underdo.
So I live in the Valley. I live kind of Sun Valley essentially. Been to Pacoima a bunch to get great Mexican food. I think that, can you kind of break down the difference between coming up in the Valley? Because I feel like the Valley is kind of like LA is kind of like stepbrother.
What a Valley, you got the Valley, right? And you got those 210 babies, right? You got Pacoima, you got
it's like Panorama City, Pacoima, yeah,
and all that around there, right? Then you have like Woodland Hills and Chatsworth and all that, right? I never even knew how to get over there till I was like 21.
Right.
Anything pretty much cross Roscoe on the 405, and then that 118 Devonshire on up to Glen Oaks Boulevard, on around the Osborne or 210. That's kind of our pocket. And if you go over there, you'll find about 4 or 5 projects. You know what I mean? If I blindfold you and took you from South Central and took the blindfold off when I got you to Pacoima, you wouldn't know the difference.
Listen, when I first moved out here, I went to buy something off OfferUp, and I had no idea about like I was like, went to Pacoima, and I was like, oh shit, it's real over here.
The only difference is when you're dealing with South Central, Compton, Watson, LA, is that the gangs, right? There's more gangs in these areas, right? So
Do the politics ever cross?
It's a little more dangerous for us now today because we're pretty much the only black gang over there. And with all the racial tension, we surrounded by Hispanic gangs, right? So now that's the internal beast. When I grew up, we shared the projects together. You know what I mean? We wouldn't let they enemies get in through the back, and they wouldn't let the Crips come through the front. Right now, it's kind of like their generation now, they're at each other's throats. So that's the difference between when you're dealing with the greater South Central, Watts, Inglewood, their gangs are more, it's more of them. You know, you go across the street, your enemy across the street, and this and that. We kind of had the liberty of controlling our ship out there. And even that was a problem in our era because the drug trade was so great. People coming out there trying to take over blocks, so now we going at it with gangs from L.A. and because they didn't know we was there until they found out. You know, y'all got to get up out of here.
Well, then there's like Tahunga and Sunland, which is where a bunch of the biker gangs and shit
you
were.
got a lot of white people.
Fucking Hell's Angels and shit.
Hell's Angels and shit like that's a whole another element that we had to deal with as kids because, boy, they catch you slipping late night, it was going to be a situation. But then you had, once you got to Chatsworth, Canoga Park, and even parts of Canoga Park is gray areas because you got a lot of Hispanic gangs over there. Woodland Hill, like I didn't know what the fuck Calabasas was until like 2008.
That's some real shit.
I didn't know what that shit was. We didn't go over there. So when you hear Valley, people think Topanga Mall and all that because they come in and they go left, they go on that 101.
Well, I think it's like that strip. It's like Sun Valley, Pacoima, San Fernando, Sylmar, Panorama City.
Because the Valley is just, all the Valley is, if you come on the 405 freeway, right, you notice when you get to the top and you start coming down, the Valley is just a city that's surrounded by the mountains.
Yep. That's all it is. Like by definition.
If you sit in LA and look as far as you can see, you won't see no mountains.
True.
So it's kind of like even that San Gabriel Valley area, Pasadena, you know, the cities that's surrounded by mountains. So that's really all it is. But we got our own little pocket over there. You know, it's been there 40-something years the way we've been into it. You know, a lot of people from LA and from down south migrated that way because it was farm country back then. And then it just, like any place else, it turned in what it turned. You do the research on Compton. George Bush lived in Compton.
That shit's crazy. I didn't know George Bush lived there.
You know what I'm saying?
I know it started off as a suburb, right?
The white people didn't move out to all the Black Star Company. You know what I'm saying? So it's what it is.
Talk to me, because, you know, I think that you've been, you know, we've had a very interesting last 4 or 5 years in our country as far as just racial tension, relations. I think, you know, Trump being president magnified a lot of stuff that was already there.
A big homie was in office.
Right? And you recently had a situation where you knocked 2 motherfuckers out on video.
I mean, but you know, that's like, I wake up every day in my life expecting something to go wrong. I prepare for the worst. I hope for the best and prepare for the worst. So it's like, you know, that's why I tell our people, like, man, there's some good people in this world. There's some crazy ass people in this world. You know, some people over there came back from the war that's, you know, gone. It's you know, believe it or not, Arnold Schwarzenegger did away with long-term mental health care. So a lot of these people at the end of these freeways and these parking lots, they could really get away with murder, right? They're going to lock them up for 48 hours and let them go. So, you know, it's not even just a gang element with me. It's just a worldly element that we live in. Because you never know if you're going to be in a restaurant, dude going to stand up in the movie, start shooting. So you got to really pay attention. You can't live in the world that we live in happy-go-lucky. It's always some shit going on, whether it's a drunk driver, whether it's a kid running out in the
What
street.
happened that day, though, where
I was in line, bullshit you now, I was trying to get me a damn BLT with avocado, seasoned fries, and a raspberry iced tea.
Okay.
And little dude was behind me. You know, they smoke rubbers in these little Dodge Chargers or Challenger cars. So I kind of leaned out. I asked, hey, I don't want you to lose control of your car. He was a skinhead dude too, but he was cool. He like, all right, cool, no problem. 2 dudes on the pickup said, mind your business, nigger. Now, once again, watch this, back to the Meek Mill situation. It's 5, 6 of them in the parking lot. I could have said, it was 6 of them and it was 1 of me. So I left. Nah. Politics I come from, they just so happen to catch me on a day that I'm by myself. I gotta get out. This is what this is. I could have pulled out and the world wouldn't have never known. Those white dudes ain't on social media. They probably didn't know who I was.
Right.
But the politics embedded in me, I gotta get out. However it turned out. I don't know if they got knives on them, guns. I don't know what they got on them. I didn't even realize it was 3-4 more over there in the corner as you seen them walk up. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of, and even with that, I was more on the defense thing. I couldn't really attack like I wanted to because I saw them walking up, so I had to get back to the vehicle, you know, in case shit went somewhere else, right? So that's just what it is, bro. And, you know, I'm first one to tell you, kids don't gangbang, right? It's some irrational shit that it won't get you nowhere. There's no retirement plan. You know what I mean? Your homeboy's gonna hate on you. When you go to jail, they're gonna tell your girlfriend about your other broad, and they're gonna be at her too, and some of them gonna tell on you and all that, right? Be a civilian. Be able to live life the worldly way. Be able to say, you know what, let me pull off. You know what, let me go make a report. That's the peaceful way, because this shit that we under, it's irrational, it's unreasonable, and it's dangerous. And I don't wish it on nobody.
But it's like, this is the life you chose.
It's just what it is with me. Yeah, I chose it, so I got to stand in it. You know, people say, Wack, man, when, you know, you this age and you still power rule. Man, I've never seen a Christian retire, man. No, this ain't no. This not a fun and game thing to me. This shit for real. This is my way of life.
Hey, man, you know what I really admire about you is the relationship you got with your wife.
Oh, that's 30 years.
I think that, you know, I've never seen any, I just, you know, she's like your partner, bro.
Yeah, she's the total opposite of me, but she is me.
And she deals with all the whack shit.
She's my daughter.
She
didn't been with me since we've been 14, bro. She didn't seen some shit. She was with me when I earned the name Wack. You know, Wack in my age meant some other shit. Today it means what it means. You know what I mean? You had to earn that name, right?
Yeah, as a kid, it was like, you whack a motherfucker, you know?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's a little, so yeah, she's my balance.
Yeah, like how important is that to have to, you know, because my wife is amazing. I couldn't have had
a woman like me. I'd be up on the Alcatraz.
Yeah.
She's my balance. She's going to talk some sense. She's going to give me another way of looking at it. You know, she's not scared of me. She understands me. You know what I mean? So it's like, and you need that. And then you definitely want somebody that you feel you can't live without. So that's what kind of controls that anger. Because any real OG that come up banging in these streets, all of us have an anger problem. That's what fuels the viciousness. You know what I'm saying? So you need something to think about, whether it's her, the children.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Things like that. You got to have something to think about to bring you down. You know what I mean? And she's my motivation, man. She's my biggest fan. She cheers me on. You know, she lets me know how smart she thinks I am. You know, men need that. We need that encouragement.
Also, too, like, she takes a lot off your plate. Like, she does
all the middle work.
She does all of the, she does a lot.
I initiate and I close. All the middle work, all the flight booking, the producer agreements, the studio time booking, all that she controls, so I can pass it and then go on to the next one.
So your label...
100 Entertainment.
100 Entertainment.
Cash
man.
Money West.
Cash Money West.
On the Birdman. I'm VP of that. 100 Entertainment. I'm actually running two labels at the same time.
Yeah, you got Cash Money West, 100 Entertainment. Exactly. So, Coyote, True Car, Flash Gotti, all those are up on the 100 Entertainment. Blueface is on Cash Money West side.
Blueface, Cash Money West. It was originally Savvy Third and Blueface. I got a few artists. I'm just waiting to see what Birdman want to do, because he gets the first pick or whatever it is, because that's just what that is. Kiddo Curry out of Chicago, and probably just Mikey probably going to end up on the Cash Money West side. So I'm just waiting on Birdman to give me the green light on that. So
what do you look for, man? Like when it comes to talent, when it comes to an artist, like, you know, what are the qualities that you look for?
True Car, what stood out to me was I thought he was from the South.
But he's from Watts.
He's from Watts. And, you know, you got to respect it. The South got the torch right now. A lot of people from New York and L.A. don't want to admit it, but the South got the torch right. They've been having the torch.
I mean, they've been having the torch about 20 years.
Yeah, you know, about 15 years.
About 15, 20, 15, man, right? You know.
So, you know, he was different. You know what I mean? You know, they got this auto-tune sound thing going on that they're saying the same thing just in the auto-tune way. So you can find that a dime a dozen. He was different. And I respected the fact that, actually, we could bring him in if you want to. Nephew, I respected the fact that he grew up in Watts and lived, he's actually up a street they call the Dime Block 110th, which is not actually inside the projects, but the outer streets outside the projects. But I respected the fact that he didn't gangbang. He grew up around it, his family's around it, but he's not from bounty hunters.
Right.
Everybody around him is, but he's not, and I respected that. You know what I mean? So I kind of look at And his work ethic is crazy. Like, I've never owned a studio. I go book one out, block one out. He running so hard, I had to actually go get a studio. Shout out to Stat Quo.
Stats my bro, man.
You know what I mean? Stat Quo and DJ, they blessed me with my situation I got over there and let me take over and just put it together how I wanted to. You know what I mean? So shout out to Stat Quo. So he his work ethic, like, he reminds me of Game. Game going knock out 4 or 5 joints a night. Right. And they was in there last night, and it was crazy because it's as fast
I'm hearing a Game Snoop.
Oh yeah, no.
You on the hook?
We just did it last night.
Yeah, I was on the hook.
Okay.
Yeah,
we got True Call on the hook. Game Snoop on the verses. That's gonna be on the Evolution to Banging on Wax.
Is that gonna be the compilation you were telling me about with Asia and Ty?
Yeah, Asia and Ty Dollars on there.
Got a big record.
The singles Bloods, Crips, Power Rule with Mozzie, OT Genesis, Game, Blueface on that. That's coming out through. I'm working that through 319 Cash Money on the distribution.
So you
side.
say Evolution to Banging on Wax? People don't remember that was the Crips and Bloods album from the 90s.
Wax was Crips on one side, Bloods on one side, which was Red Rum and Big Y and Stretch. They did that situation, but the Crips was dissing the Bloods on one side, and Bloods was dissing the Crips on one side. Since then, we've kind of evolved to where this Blood and Crip thing has went across the United States, and how we're doing it is we're making sure everybody got to understand, especially in this music industry, to minimize the violence. So the evolution side of it, which came from Wacko from West Side Power Rule, 142nd Street, his whole thing was to let's show the evolution of it to where now we got Bloods and Crips on the same songs, doing great music together, getting along. The evolution of it. So we promoted the bullshit back then. Fuck these niggas, kill these niggas. 25 years later, we still here standing. Hey, listen. Our politics all cross. I land on your block. You in my city. You in my studios. It's all love. It's cool. Vice versa. So that's what that is.
Ooh, that's on. All right. So look, you've been busy.
Yeah. Hell yeah, working for sure.
Yeah, we got one coming this week. What's up?
What's up for sure? We had to do it for the city.
So
crazy.
Yeah, you got some big features. Obviously, the Rich the Kid records out.
Shout out to Rich.
Yeah.
You
Bankroll Freddie.
Shout out to Bank.
Got one with Coil of the Ray. Got one with Draco.
Shout out to Draco for sure.
Mozzie.
Yeah, I saw you in with Draco. I saw you with Mozzie.
Yeah, we got one coming with Sweetie.
Oh shit! Yeah, you told me it's got the old school sample on it, right?
Yeah, we took Games, Let's Ride, and flipped it. You know
flipped it.
And shout out to the game
Press
too.
Play did that, and Scott Storage came and touched it for us.
Oh yeah,
he did the beat.
Shout out to Storage.
You know what I'm saying?
So hey, when this guy originally calls you, or like, how did you find him, and how did the initial conversation happen?
Blueface had told me he wanted to do a remix on the song, and he said, "Could you find him? This is his name." Sent me his Instagram. I DM'd him. And, some people wake up, see a DM from me, don't know how to take that shit, right? So I DM'd him, and he sent me his number. I called him. I told him what it was. He pulled up in the studio. Blueface knocked it out. I said, look, whoever you working with. I asked him who he was signed to. He said nobody. And I asked him where he was from. He said Watts. He grew up around the Nickerson Gardens. So first thing out my mouth, respect for my brother, Top Dog. I'm like, have you reached out to Top Dog and TDE, right? So he was like, he was trying to get some, things that way or whatever. So I said, well, I'm going to call over there. So before that, I told him, I said, look, whoever you working with, just tell him we doing you a favor. We enhancing your music, going to let you use Blueface platform.
Yeah.
It's all love, like
all
no
love.
strings attached.
Right.
But I warned him, when you tell them you came in with me, they're going to feel some type of way and they're going to get different with you. And I think because I told him what was going to happen before it happened, when it happened, he called me back and said, I need to come talk to you. And he pulled up on me. I was working in the studio in Glendale at the Mint Room. He said, man, as soon as I told him that, I was over here with you, everything changed. I said, well, you want to come over here and work, you can work. Because what I like to do, I let an artist come to my studio, use the studio for free, 2-3 months, whatever you want to do, record. I want you to want to work with me. I don't force contracts over you. I don't dangle a bone in front of you. If you comfortable with me, then you can come to my office and then we can map out what we want to do. And he'd tell you that he was over there free for all 2-3 months. I never, no paperwork, never no nothing. When he felt he was ready,
that's
we
when
did that.
Open the doors and everything happened.
Because as far as I'm concerned, him being able to come to my studio for those 8 hours or 10 hours, he got more chance at life. He ain't over there on the block ain't nothing happening to these kids. So I'm giving you an outlet someplace to go, whether you got any money or not. I'm going to pay for the room anyway. It's there. I got a couple rooms. So even if some kids just come to hang out, you know, it's
better than them being where
it's an outlet. And you know, and I give them that because I feel like
I think that's another misconception about you that you just kind of squashed out. Like, I think a lot of people look at you as like, Wack is this big.
Nah, and listen, so he out here leading people the right way.
But I think that you need to, you know, it's good that you're promoting that because I don't think people understand like the shit you be doing for people that we don't even know about.
You will never find nobody that can say Wack supervise or orchestrate any kid getting put on a street game. I learned at an early age. I was sent to the penitentiary at 16. Solid that this shit is some bullshit, but I was so far.
It's too late.
It was what it was. So I told myself, I'm never gonna put this on nobody else's child because I know what this is. I believe what you put in the universe is gonna come back. I knew I had a son on the way, and you know I'm not gonna do this to somebody. Then one day something happened to mine because of what I orchestrated over here. So they all tell you I got all kind of shit in my building. It be shit in my building ain't supposed to be in the building at the same time. Like who they killing right now on they blocks, but they right here, 3-4 different neighborhoods, getting along. So now when they see each other, you know what I mean, maybe they'll let each other live, even if Wack's not there. Because through Wack, they develop a relationship.
Which is great.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, look, Wack, I know you were supposed to get out of here at 3 o'clock. We're running late on that.
Yeah, I gotta go. I got daddy duties. I gotta take my daughter to but you know, we got True Car, he coming, Blueface is coming, Game's coming. I got a 30 for 30 playlist type album that we're releasing. True Car, based on a true story, is coming out.
Soon?
Coming soon.
That's like March.
Hey, we gotta do a freestyle too. I told him we have like his beat.
We double back on the show.
Yeah, I ain't seen him write nothing yet. He come off the top. Off the top. You know what I mean? But like, you know, shout out to everybody that been there. My man JR running my marketing, E1 that's been there.
Also the diapers. You got Incredible Diapers.
Incredible Diapers, yeah. They launching in June. The only minority owned diaper company in the universe. Nick Cannon.
Nick Cannon gonna need those diapers too. My man is out here populating the world.
Nick said he trying to have 10 kids.
He's getting down for sure.
Yeah, you know, he allowed me to use his name. I was trying to come up with a name and I was in a rut and I was like, you know, Incredible Diapers, I like the ring of it. So I called him.
Yeah, perfect.
He like, Wack, go ahead, do your thing. He wouldn't even take no money from me, but I still rolled it up and gave him his percentage. He hasn't had to do anything. I haven't asked him for no funding or nothing. You know, I'm pretty sure when it comes time to marketing and promoting, he definitely be there for me. But, you know, definitely, you know, we moving things in other ways and to empower ourselves so we don't need the other people to do the things that we do in music.
Facts. Well, look. Appreciate you pulling up, Wack. It's about time, man.
Yeah, definitely.
And we're gonna have. I talked to the Coyote dudes because they've been them dudes can rap.
Shout out to the Yotes.
Like can rap. So
boys is hard.
I've been talking to them about pulling up. We're gonna do a freestyle with them. Do a freestyle with you and
definitely.
Boom. 100 Entertainment. Wack 100.
Back when we go on that promo.
Of course.
Yeah.
Boom.
All love. West up.